Steeples.
Yep.
Yes, there we are.
Good morning, everyone.
Speaking of books, it's UntiltedTown time again. It's Stacks and Steeples time again. There's so much going on at your Brown County Library. So we have Brian Simons here to talk a little bit about this, about it with us. And first off, Brian, you might be the only library I know of that has a weekly concert series, like rock shows, in Wisconsin, if not the Midwest. Tell us a little bit about how Season 2 of Stacks and Steeples is going.
Yeah, so Stacks and Steeples Season 2 is shaping up really well. We had our first concert last Sunday, and it drew 80 people.
Nice.
So good turnout. The first one was Hydration Reggae in Vamp City, so you have missed them, but that's all right. There's lots more to come. We've got this weekend Ann Deming and Good for the Soul, and then the following weekend, February 25th, is Michael Sodnick and the Snowbirds.
Okay.
You might remember the Snowbirds from last year.
They
played. And then March 4th, we have Good Luck, which is Ryan Gracielny. And then we've got, some of you may remember the band Fun with Atoms. They're playing.
Nice.
Yeah. And then the last one is Christopher Gold, who also played last year, and the Chocolatiers, who played last year.
Yeah,
I remember you talking about them last
some
time.
alumni from last year and some well-known musicians from the Green Bay, Fox Valley, Northeast Wisconsin area. So, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to ask, he had said when you typically think of a library, you tend to think about quiet and reading, and so when you say music here, like a rock show, where did the idea for something like that come from, and what is the benefit of having it here?
Yeah, so the idea came from, I'm from Green Bay originally, and I was involved in the music scene when I was younger, and Green Bay used to have a really thriving punk rock, indie rock scene.
Okay.
Bands would tour from all over the country, and they would come here as opposed to Madison or Milwaukee because they were guaranteed great crowds. And I always wanted to do a show in the library auditorium, but back then, smoking was ubiquitous, right? And now that the smoking ban's been in place for many years, we just don't even think about it. We're like, oh yeah, of course you go to a show and there's no smoking.
Right.
So now that I was library director here, I said, you know what, let's try this. It really kind of came about, it resurfaced again from one of my staff members, Stephanie Glim. She had the idea, and she was like, well, could we do like music here? And I was like, yeah, let's do. You reminded me of something. Let's do that.
I've been waiting for you to ask.
So that's the genesis of it. And then the importance of it, I think, is that it really opens the door for people to go experience some of these bands. And it's all original music, too. So there's no covers.
Yeah.
So it gives the bands exposure. It opens up like a cultural art venue. And then also for the participants, it's really risk-free. It's free to the public, so you can come because the Friends of the Library support the whole thing.
Thank you, Friends of the Library.
Yes, thank you very much. So the public can come, and what we noticed last year, which was really cool but unintended consequence, and I'm glad it is that people were coming with their kids, like little kids.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of the musicians, too, were like, this is the coolest thing, because I play in bars, and my 5-year-old is never going to be able to see me otherwise.
Right.
And it's such a neat venue to have families enjoying music that isn't like just, nothing against little kids' music, but it has its niche.
Yes.
But it's cool to open up the minds and the kind of atmosphere of parents and little kids together with music they all can enjoy.
That's really cool.
Well, and not only that, but I will say that the 12:30 start time almost seems perfectly timed for the brunch set.
Yes,
as they wrap up at some of the wonderful places in downtown Green Bay for brunch, as well as that as I've gotten older, I've heard a lot of the music scene people kind of start saying, I want a show, why can't you put a show starting at 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock?
Right, we're all getting old.
Yeah, starting a start time at like 10 o'clock at night is a little too late for some people. So a noon show.
Yeah, right.
I'm in bed by like 9, so there's that.
So, a 12:30 to 3 p.m. show, couple of bands, right centrally located. I can see it being a good draw and hopefully building more momentum as word spreads.
Yeah, thank you. I think it will.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to mention our weather really quick, and then we're going to head into a story that has to do with another part of this. All these books here on this table.
The
Really
books.
cool. So our weather today is going to be a high of 26, a low of 16, and sunny all day today.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound too bad
No,
for
it
a Friday.
doesn't.
And the reason for all of these books, R.L. Stine, Roxane Gay, Mary Roach, is that the Untitled Town 2018 headliners have been announced.
Yes.
And so, Brian, what has the response been to R.L. Stine, Mary Roach, Roxane Gay, Christopher Moore, Michael Perry, so many people that I can't even mention them all.
It's been incredible.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been, I mean, this is our second year doing this festival. Untitled Town is the nonprofit, but the library is deeply involved within that nonprofit. I'm on the board of that, and then also just the library itself is one of the venues, and you know, we're really deep in collaboration with that. And the response has just been absolutely incredible. We put the press release out and a Facebook post on Tuesday or Wednesday. I can't even remember. This week's been crazy. So, yes. But we've had something like 18,000 views on the Facebook post.
Nice.
So we know we're getting traction, and we're working with the CBB as well. So there'll be more publicity to come on this as well.
Very cool.
And you know, last year we just kind of did it, and I think we did a good job, and we just didn't expect how big a response it was going to be, though.
Well, I mean, roughly 5,000 people at 7-8 different venues throughout downtown Green Bay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And this year we've got 14 venues in mostly downtown Green Bay. The R.L. Stine event is going to be at the Widener Center.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and we're actually doing 2 showings, but one is specifically for elementary schools that we're working with.
Nice.
So we'll fill the Widener Center with 4th graders that may never ever have that cool experience otherwise. And then the evening event is open to the public. Otherwise, everything else is downtown again, and we've got over 120, I think, 120 authors and over 150 events.
Nice. And there are still perhaps a few announcements to be made,
yes.
Maybe coming next month?
Yes, we've got
Hint.
1 or 2 other bigger authors we're still courting. And if the courtship goes well, we'll be able to announce them hopefully in early March.
Nice.
What I thought was really cool is that even for people my age or younger who haven't read Goosebumps, you know of them. Like, you know the covers, some of the stories, and there was a movie recently made about it. So I think that that's really exciting that people who maybe have always wanted to read, never got around to it, now they're going to have that inspiration to do so.
Yeah. It's going to be really cool. It's a neat jumping off point, too, for parents who either read these as kids or you know, maybe didn't but knew about them, and now they have kids of that age. It's a perfect segue to you know, read with your child.
Exactly.
So yeah, we've got a lot of really cool opportunities. You know, Christopher Moore is another interesting one. He writes generally humor, kind of a little bit different, a little bit off the wall sometimes, a little goofy, but it's always fun. So he's going to be really fun to hear to speak. Roxane Gay is, I think in years to come, she's a newer author, younger, but I think what she does is so amazing that I think when 20 years from now, we'll be talking about her like we talked about Sherman Alexie last year.
Right.
You know, like she's going to be a very prolific author that someday is going to be in that postage stamp category. Really, really neat things that we're able to provide this year.
Nice. Well, if you have already checked out the story that I wrote that was posted in the comments below, awesome. If people do want to find out more, though, about Untitled Town, maybe look into if they want some priority seating for Roxane Gay or R.L. Stine, where should they go?
So right now, we're solidifying the schedule and the locations. So we don't have tickets available yet, but we will very soon. We expect that in early March. But even just for more information and eventually to either secure your free ticket, because this whole event is free. So we'll have tickets distributed like we did last year. You just kind of claim them. So you can do that, and that'll be at untitledtown.org.
Okay.
There will be opportunities for, if you want to pay, you're really helping contribute to fund kind of starter money for the next year's festival in that case. And what you get for that is kind of the upfront seating and
the priority seating.
Yeah, priority seating, and also typically, depending on the author in our agreements with them, but most of them will then offer signing experiences for those who've kind of made that extra contribution.
Nice.
So yeah, there's some added benefits to that. And we've got a couple other really neat things too. There, we've got a brunch with Michael Perry.
Ooh,
That's our only one actual paid for event, and only because there's food involved.
Yeah.
Right.
But that'll be Sunday brunch.
Nice.
So yeah, take a look at the calendar. The schedule will be coming out in full probably in the next couple weeks. So you'll see all 150 events soon.
Very nice.
People who are watching our video, maybe comment below with some of your favorite books that you've read by these authors, your favorite author, what you're looking forward to most about this festival, maybe what you liked most about last year's festival, right?
Yeah, and
Really
if you haven't read some of these fine authors, as you can see, they are available in your local library.
Yes.
When I said I want to come to the library more because I'm getting inspired to want to read a new book. So,
Yeah, there we go.
some good stuff. So I wanted to make a mention of a couple of things before we head out today. Did a story yesterday about the Green Bay Police Department now offering free response training in the event of an active shooter situation. So yeah, these classes are it's a 4-hour class. So the police either come to you, and this is for businesses, churches, parochial schools, other large organizations in the city. They either come to you, you go to them, but they teach you all the proper techniques of what to do, maybe what not to do during a situation like that, so that you're prepared in the sad event that does happen.
And if you did want to go back and watch the press conference again, kind of talking about how law enforcement and schools are responding to tragedies like the one in Florida,
right.
You can watch it on our Facebook page as well.
And then also wanted to remind you as well that the jury selection is happening today for the George Birch trial for the murder of Nicole Vanderheiden, and that trial starts on Monday.
Okay.
Interesting fact about this, in this trial there are going to be more than 130 witnesses.
Wow.
So it's going to be a long trial, and we'll keep you updated with what happens in there.
Very good. Somebody just commented that I believe they suggested that Fluke by Christopher Moore is a good place to start if you are looking for a good sort of entry point to a new author.
Very cool.
So,
we like these suggestions.
yes,
Keep
we
them
do.
coming.
Yeah, please keep them coming. And glad to see that people are getting excited for UntiltedTown as well. So the website for UntiltedTown.org has been posted in the comments below as well. Also, so I think that is going to do it for today.
Thank you for having us here,
Yes,
for
thank
answering
you.
all of our questions and getting people excited about the upcoming festival. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like and share our video, and we will see you on Monday morning.
Have a good weekend.
Another